Okay guys, we're going to try something a little different. We've got the paper backlit, and we're going to try problem number 15. Okay, so the question goes, use the half-angle formulas to determine the exact value of each expression. So A is the cotangent of pi over 8. Well, since we're using the half-angle formula, this is actually the cotangent of pi over 4 over 2. But our reference doesn't have cotangent, it just has tangent. So, we've got, on the reference, the tangent of alpha over 2 is equal to 1 minus cosine alpha over sine alpha. What that means is cotangent is going to be the flip of that. So this is going to be the sine of pi over 4 over 1 minus the cosine of pi over 4. Okay? So the sine of pi over 4 we know is root 2 over 2 over 1 minus root 2 over 2. So multiply by 2 top and bottom. That gives us the square root of 2 over 2 minus the square root of 2. And that's our answer. So remember, if you've got the reference of tangent, you just flip it to use it for cotangent. Alright? And B, for problem 15, we've got sine of pi over 12. Well, that's really the sine of pi over 6 over 2. So our reference says that sine of alpha over 2 is plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine alpha over 2. So this is plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine pi over 6 over 2. So that's plus or minus the square root of 1 minus the square root of 3 over 2 over 2. So multiply, again, top and bottom times 2. We get plus or minus the square root 2 minus square root 3 over 4. Under square root, that's plus minus the square root 2 minus the square root of 3 all over 2. Now guys, this plus and minus will not stand. We've got to think about this. So sine pi over 12, well, 0 pi over 2. Pi over 12 is going to be in this first quadrant, right? So the sign of that is going to be positive and positive only. So we just have the square root of 2 minus square root 3 all over 2. So this is problem 1 with alternate lighting. We'll see how it turns out.